Welcome to our Sunday morning meditation service. This is going to be a call and response chant, and I'm going to call, and I hope you respond. You are in the wind, in each twinkling star. You are all around me. You are never far. And my soul is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. You are on the land. You are in the sea. Dancing in the grasses. Everywhere I see. And my heart is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. You are in the air, laughing in each brook. You are peeping at me. Everywhere I look. And my soul is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. I can feel your presence where each pathway bends. I can see you smiling through the eyes of friends. And my soul is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. You are in the wind, in each twinkling star. You are all around me. You are never far. And my soul is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. You are in the wind. You are in the sea. Dancing in the grasses. Whispering in each tree. And my heart is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. You are in the hills, laughing in each brook. You are peeping at me. Everywhere I look, and my soul is singing. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Oh, divine, all I want is you. Is you. Is you. Is you.
Good morning, everyone. Last Sunday, I forecast that this Sunday I would be speaking about the highest healing truth. And in doing that, it might rankle the sensibilities of some people. But you should know it is okay to be occasionally rankled. It means that you're still open to learn. And if you're open to learn what is shared here today, you can transform your life and turn it into a life truly worth living. So I'm going to try to stay close to my notes today because this particular talk is written from an altered state. At least the notes put down are from an altered state. And I want to make sure I don't get off on tangents because this is very focused. All right, let's begin by revealing the ultimate healing truth. Can we have this first PowerPoint, please? You can read this in the Course in Miracles text, page 133, or the new edition, it's on page 144. Most of you have the new edition. Unless you have the 3 books, separate big books, you have the new edition if you have it in one book. If God's will for you is complete peace and joy, unless you experience only this, you must be refusing to acknowledge His will. His will does not vacillate, being changeless forever. When you are not at peace, it can only be because you do not believe you are in Him. Yet He is all in all. His peace is complete, and you must be included in it. His laws govern you because they govern everything. You cannot exempt yourself from His laws, although you can disobey them. Yet if you do, and only if you do, you will feel lonely and helpless because you are denying yourself everything. Can we take this back again, please? If God's will for you is complete peace and joy, unless you experience only this, you must be refusing to acknowledge His will. Take a moment to think about that. This is extremely pointed, and it is extremely and absolutely true. His will does not vacillate, being changeless forever. When you are not at peace, it can only be because you do not believe you are in Him. Yet He is all in all. His peace is complete, and you must be included in it. His laws govern you because they govern everything. You cannot exempt yourself from His laws, although you can disobey them. Let me give a point on that. Just as you cannot exempt yourself from the law of gravity in this earth dimension, you cannot exempt yourself from this law of life as it pertains to the divine evolving souls created by God. Yes, you can disobey gravity, but the penalty will be great. And it is like the laws which you cannot exempt yourself from. You cannot exempt yourself from gravity, not in the third dimension speaking. You cannot exempt yourself from his laws, although you can disobey them. Yet if you do, and only if you do, you will feel lonely and helpless because you are denying yourself everything. What then is this law which governs everything and everyone, from which no one can exempt himself or herself? I'll paraphrase it. Love God totally. It's in the scripture written that way, totally. Heart, mind, soul. And the hard part, because we have faked the first part so long, not having a real understanding of our true relationship to creation. We have faked it and let it be whatever goes on. But the second part is what we have to give our attention to. Love your neighbor as yourself. Just as you love yourself, you must love your neighbor. That is the law in which we are created, in which we live and move and have our being. If you are not at peace, it is because you don't believe you are in that law. And so you're in a state of limitation, frustration, anxiety, things not working out as well as you'd like them to, having brief moments of passing peace, but never having full confidence in living in the awareness of joy. You don't believe you are God created and that there is this law that defines what it is you need to be doing, which is to love this divine ideal. And to do it, you must eventually love your neighbor as yourself. And that particular ideal gives rise to this truth. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? This gives rise to the understanding of karma. Judge not that you be not judged, for with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And the measure you give, you will be. Judge not that you be not judged, for with the judgment. All right, I have to say this is my fault. I just handed the staff a whole new 5 different PowerPoints that are completely different than the ones I gave them on Friday, because this talk changed so totally. But you've heard this, you should have it memorized by far. Judge not that you be not judged, for the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And the measure you give will be the measure you get back. And that actually means don't consider the flaws in others. You cannot consider the flaws in other people's character. You cannot, you haven't the ability to do it correctly. And to the degree that you do it, you are cutting yourself off from the will of God, which you should not do that. But instead, love that neighbor as you would love yourself. Do unto that neighbor, think unto that neighbor the way you would think unto yourself. And until you can do that, you will be outside the joy, the peace, the insight that is by nature yours. If you do the will of God. Everybody says, what's the will of God? You're being told right now what the will of God is. Love your neighbor to the degree that you love your neighbor as much as you would love yourself. That means you cannot be considering that you understand or can see the flaws in your neighbor's character, because you cannot. And to the degree that you think you can do that, to that degree, you cut yourself off from feeling the presence, the love, the joy, and the peace. So, my goodness, is this the truth that makes one free? Think about it. When you look at what has just been said so far, how could you sum it up? You could sum it up by this particular idea that I share quite often. The only true religion of the masters is live and let live. Live and let live. Don't say judge not, condemn not, don't attempt to consider the flaws of others, and thereby thinking that you could decide the right and wrong of his or her life. Can you imagine you have to give this up? Do you want to come into the mastery of life? You would have to give all that up. Because what it is saying is, you can live, and live beautifully, but you must also then let live. Even that which appears to you to be in error. Even that which appears to you to be wrong, jaded, worthy of ridicule. Do you have that so far? Do you have it? Do you know it? Do you want it? Because wanting it is the whole key. Most people come, hear, listen. Curious, that was a curious way to put everything, but gee, I have my life and the way I conduct my life, which seems very important. Is it important enough to deny yourself the life God bestowed on you? The life that would make you so happy and free and whole in body, mind, and soul, that you would surrender it for your limited human opinions? Just recently, driving back from our family reunion in Sedona, Arizona, we were kind of in a hurry to get back because we had somebody who had been watching our dog, and we had to get back right at the right time. But we did stop for gas in one of these large gas consortiums that has gas pumps, but it also has a large area filled with stuff that you can buy for cars and things and food and drinks and whatever. And also connected to it was this Subway sandwich place. And so Norm and I decided we're going to get a sandwich and take it with us while we drive. We stopped in the Subway place once I got gas, and there was a lady who was the head serving person, the only serving person in that Subway, and she was already outside unloading a truck of boxes, and I think the boxes contain the different breads that Subway offers for their sandwiches. And she was bringing them inside. When she finally brought them inside, she went behind the counter. She washed her hands in the sink back there and then dried her hands and then came up to the counter and asked us what we wanted. And we ordered our sandwiches. She must be 50 or 60 years old and an Indian lady. You could tell she was a Native American. And after she finished making our sandwiches, I went to pay with a credit card, and they had this, like most of the Subways have, this little black credit card machine. You slide your credit card in there and pull it out, and it flashes up gratuity, 15%, 20%, or custom if you want to just give something less. But underneath that particular credit card machine was written, "Don't tip." It was right there in bold letters, "Don't tip." Somebody had written it. And I turned to the lady behind the counter and I said, what is this? It "Don't tip." She said, "Well, if you tip, it just will go on to corporate." In what? If you leave a tip with your credit card, it will go on to corporate. You know, over the years, I've been around a while, and over the years, I have lost my stuff. Not as much these days, since I've been in the ministry and I practice the truth I'm sharing with you. But I had a moment, and I said, I don't get it. So you don't get any tips from people paying with their credit? She said, no. I said, they haven't figured out how to separate the tips so that it can be given to the person serving? I know that there's other places that have these machines, and they seem to be able to take tips. What is this? She said, no, it's been mentioned to them, but they don't want to be, they say they can't do it. I said, do you have the phone number? Do you have the phone number of the person who owns this franchise? She said, who? I said, your boss. Do you have his phone number? In fact, I was really very cool. I said, do you have his phone number? One thing he did not want, this whoever he was and wherever he was. But she said to me, Mister, please, don't make trouble. I need this job. So I released it. And which what I am saying is hard but necessary in order to keep your peace. Here we go. I am moving into that territory that might rankle your sensibilities. Because on the highest levels of awareness, manifesting in divine consciousness, what is referred to as the kingdom of heaven, being in it, requires that you let that which appears to be beyond the reach of your own personal experience, the errors that are beyond your personal reach. In other words, if something isn't directly on your path for you to handle, that you can improve or heal, and there's so much of it that is not on your path, all that is in error and wrong, mean, cruel even, you must let it be. Your calling depends on it. You cannot ever know what it means to be in heaven until you can let it be that which appears to be wrong, mean, and cruel, but is beyond your personal reach. So don't look out at the world and don't listen to the news and don't angst about all that's wrong and mean and cruel, because it only cuts you off from your calling, from the will of God, that you should leave it the hell alone. And A Course in Miracles speaks to this as well. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? You can read this in the workbook of A Course in Miracles on page 114. You who were created by love, like itself, can hold no grievances and know yourself. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind and to condemn the body to death. Perhaps you do not yet fully realize just what holding grievances does to your mind. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him who is love. Can we take this back again? Here is where you want to be. And anything that is holding you back from going here is holding you back from the will of God, that you should have peace and joy, and that will spread in the collective consciousness of humanity. You who were created by love, like itself, can hold no grievances and know yourself. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind and to condemn the body to death. Perhaps you do not yet fully realize just what holding grievances does to your mind. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him, make you unlike love, take you out of the nature of love, take you out of your soul calling, take you out of living effectively, beautifully, joyfully, honorably, take you out of it because you have a grievance. You still suppose that which is outside of you, that which is taking place in foreign countries or in this country, you can angst about it, you can have remorse about it, and it will not affect you. It has, if you do that, affected you totally. To fully grasp the depth of what is being said here, you could consider all those things, the jaded, the less than just, the wrong, the mean, the insane even, as part of the sub-creation. And as long as we are allowing ourselves to identify with the sub-creation, we are not doing the will of God. We are not overcoming the world as Jesus called us to overcome the world. And what did Jesus say about the world that you must overcome? Through your meditation, your prayer, your desire, your hunger for happiness. Do you have a hunger for insight and love and peace? Do you hunger for the truth that will make you free? Because if you don't, the subcreation will draw you in. And then you will have tribulation, and you will have angst, and you'll be able to bemoan the way things are and the people that do it. But that doesn't belong to mastery. Everyone is living in his or her mind-made concept of himself, herself. Everyone. And it is all so okay, because life is a school. And whether people know it or not, we are learning how to love. Fully, completely, totally, without exception, to love. And when we get to finally being able to do that, we will heal. But until then, everybody's operating in his or her own concept, his or her own collection of beliefs and ideas and foibles and things that picked up along the way. Everyone is living in his own personal ideal, and that is why the world is sick. It is why you have a subcreation that you need to transcend. You could define that as each person sees life from his or her level of faith. You could look at it this way. To what degree are you capable of loving? And the Bible speaks about, will you love those who only love you back? Can you love your enemies? Can you love those who despitefully use you? Can you love those who appear to be in error? Can you love this and that? And to the degree, listen to it, the heart of life speaking down through the ages, the heart of life that said, my words will never go away, because you can't come to true life without living them. My words will never go away. The heart of life. To the degree you're capable of love and letting that which appears to oppose love alone, to that degree, you will come to the enlightened life. And so you must remember this part of the opening statement. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? When you are not at peace, it can only be because you do not believe you are in him who is love, who is the Creator. Yet he is all, in all. His peace is complete, and you must be included in it. His laws govern you because they govern everything. You cannot exempt yourself from his laws, although you can disobey them. Don't allow yourself to be fooled anymore. I talk about that retreat at Snow Mountain Ranch, where everybody spent a week on their best behavior, putting people in the middle of the group, and everyone saying how wonderful things about them, that they gleaned and thought about and intuited about them. Wonderful things. And everybody felt so good sitting in that group. And then they left the retreat after 6 days in Snow Mountain Ranch, the beautiful territory, having 3 meals a day, never having to wash a dish, none of the drudgery that goes with life. They could all just carry on their best behavior and bless each other, care for each other, love each other, serve each other. They did all that for 6 days and then came home and became totally, ultimately disillusioned. Because in the world now, you have to do your own dishes. You have to prepare the meals. Everybody you meet is not going to be on best behavior. And they used to give people something to go home with. This is what they would send them home with. How futile could it be? It's all good. What? Take that with you. It's all good. What? It's all good. No, when you come home, it doesn't appear to be all good. And it's not in accordance with your concept of life that you've developed, your beliefs. It's not. So many things are out of keeping with what it is you would define as good. Now be careful. I want you to take this with you. Forget everything else I said. Take this with you and work with this. Suppose it's not all good because you're still in that state of mind where you're not fully capable of loving that which is. But suppose you took this as your affirmation. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. Thus, let it be. It belongs to God if it's outside your reach. If it hasn't fallen on your personal path to deal with, it's outside your reach. Let it be. Return it to the cosmos, to God itself. To live in the mystical joy, peace of God, one must leave all that appears to be unjust beyond one's immediate reach. One must leave all of it to God, to let it be, whispered words of wisdom, let it be. Sustain your peace. Don't drop out of heaven to fix all that appears to be wrong in the world. Don't surrender your peace to deal with, angst over, fret about all that appears to be wrong, unjust, mean, cruel. So if there's a rankling taking place within you, it's a good one. Because this is the truth. And here it is, coming down through the ages. 500 years, if you want to think historically, before the birth of Christ, a great sage, possibly one of the greatest, had this to say. Can we have this next PowerPoint? Can we have the next PowerPoint? This is from the tiny missal Tao Te Ching. This is saying number 29. Do you want to improve the world? I don't think it can be done. The world is sacred. It can't be improved. If you tamper with it, you'll ruin it. If you treat it like an object, you'll lose it. Do you want to improve the world? I don't think it can be done. The world is sacred. It can't be improved. If you tamper with it, you'll ruin it. If you treat it like an object, you'll lose it. Allow that to fit into it's all God. It's all God. For the rising and the training and the expanding of human beings' consciousness. And it is all sacred. Boy, you snuck in here. That's good. Perfect timing. All right. We'll take a few moments to meditate. Begin by taking a couple of deep breaths. As you release the breath, release any cares or concerns that you may be harboring. You see, as we expand in the acceptance of love, all that is not love in our own experience and mind disappears. Just keep breathing and allowing yourself to be okay in this moment. Just breathing, experiencing the peace of being okay. And you may want to use this mantra. Bring this mantra, this prayer to mind, gently to mind, so that you give the mind something to focus on, allowing that limited information and thoughts that come and go to rest. Just bring your mind gently back to this mantra. Everything I look upon, everything I see is only God waiting for me. Everything I look upon, everything I see is only God waiting for me to stop judging. Everything I look upon, everything I see is only God waiting for me to love completely, totally, faithfully. As we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space, let us go forth in a greater determination to be awake in the process of living. For this opportunity in every moment, let us feel gratitude that such is the creation. Such is how we have been created. To awaken and come to true life. And for this opportunity, we do give thanks. To this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And as we take this offering, you can possibly understand that giving a talk like this or talks like these, we're probably going to lose some people who are watching live stream. So give a little more today. And those of you that are watching this on the screen, you're tuning in to get the insights to make your life truly worth living. You should be willing to financially support Unity of Boulder by giving tithes, sending it in to Unity of Boulder, supporting a place where we share the truth. And everyone here can bring into their hands that gift they'd like to make to Unity. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Join me now, please. We dedicate this tithe to the will and the work of the Spirit of truth, the Spirit available to each of us, the Spirit that joins all of us. We dedicate this tithe to the victory of the Spirit of truth. Amen. As always, we will have our discussion group taking place in the bookstore. Through these doors to your left, there's a separate room right off the bookstore that has chairs set up for anyone who wants to stay, bring up any topic, any thought, any question about today's talk or unity in general, or anything else you want to talk about regarding the spiritual path. So that's through these doors to your left. And if you want, we have refreshments and tea in Fellowship Hall. That's through these doors to your right. To everyone, have an awakening day.